Picture this. It's the 1930s, a time of uncertainty and rebuilding in Germany. The country is emerging from the shadows of World War I, eager to carve out a new chapter of progress. Enter Ferdinand Porsche, a brilliant engineer with a passion for designing extraordinary cars. Porsche dreamed of creating something that would change the way people thought about driving. A car for everyone, not just the wealthy few. At the same time, another figure was rising to power. Adolf Hitler. While his ambitions were rooted in a dangerous ideology, one of his ideas was to make cars accessible to the common German family. He envisioned a vehicle that would be affordable, efficient, and reliable. In his mind, this wasn't just a car. It was a symbol of a nation on the move. Fate brought these two men together in an unlikely alliance. Hitler commissioned Porsche to design the people's car, a vehicle that could fit a family, cruise at a steady speed, and cost no more than the price of a motorcycle. The challenge was immense, but Porsche embraced it with enthusiasm. This collaboration birthed the prototype of what we now know as the Volkswagen Beetle. The design was groundbreaking. A compact car with a rounded, aerodynamic shape, powered by a reliable air-cooled engine. It wasn't just a car, it was a promise of freedom and mobility for everyday people. In 1937, the Volkswagen company was officially founded under the lengthy name Gesellschaft zur Vorbereitung des Deutschen Volkswagens MBH. Don't worry, it was later shortened to Volkswagen, which simply means people's car in German. This marked the beginning of a story that would change automotive history forever. But the road wasn't smooth. The company's early days were deeply intertwined with the political landscape of the time, and the looming shadow of World War II was about to challenge everything. Yet, even in its infancy, the Volkswagen name carried the seeds of innovation and resilience that would help it thrive in the decades to come. As the 1940s dawned, Volkswagen's journey took a sharp turn. The world was engulfed in the chaos of World War II, and the fledgling company had to adapt to the harsh realities of the time. Instead of producing cars for families, Volkswagen shifted its focus to manufacturing military vehicles. Among these were the Kübelwagen, a sturdy Jeep-like car, and the Schwimmwagen, an amphibious vehicle capable of navigating both land and water. While these wartime vehicles showcased the engineering brilliance of Ferdinand Porsche and his team, the factory's story was overshadowed by the dark history of the era. Volkswagen's operations were deeply tied to the Nazi regime, and forced labor was tragically used in its production facilities. It was a period marked by moral and ethical challenges that would forever remain part of its legacy. When the war ended in 1945, Germany lay in ruins, and Volkswagen's factory in Wolfsburg was no exception. Bombed and battered, the plant was on the brink of collapse. Many doubted whether the company could survive, let alone thrive. It was even offered to automakers in the UK, US, and France, but none saw potential in the little factory or its odd, Beetle-shaped car. Too ugly, too noisy, and impossible to sell, they said. But sometimes, the underdog surprises everyone. The British Army, tasked with managing post-war Germany, saw something in Volkswagen. A British officer named Major Ivan Hurst played a pivotal role in reviving the factory. His vision was simple: to restart production of the Volkswagen Beetle as a means to provide jobs and rebuild the local economy. Under his leadership, the factory slowly came back to life, and in 1947, the first Beetle was exported to the Netherlands. From the ashes of war, Volkswagen began its rise. The Beetle, once dismissed as unsellable, started winning hearts with its quirky design and reliability. It became more than just a car. It was a symbol of recovery, resilience, and a fresh start. This period wasn't just about survival. It was the beginning of a global journey. The Beetle was poised to become one of the most iconic cars in history, but that's just the start of Volkswagen's incredible comeback story. In the 1950s, Volkswagen began expanding its reach beyond Germany, marking the start of its international success story. European domination. The Beetle gained immense popularity across Europe, becoming a symbol of affordable and reliable transportation. It established Volkswagen as the leading automaker in Germany and the continent. Entry into the United States. In 1949, Volkswagen introduced the Beetle to the American market. Despite initial skepticism, it quickly became the most popular imported car in the U.S., admired for its compact size, durability, and distinctive design. Establishing global operations. Volkswagen set up factories in several countries, including Canada, 1952, to cater to the growing North American market. Brazil, 1953, the first factory in South America, where the Beetle and Combi became cultural icons. Australia, 1954, expanding its footprint in the Asia-Pacific region. Diversification of models. Alongside the Beetle, Volkswagen launched new vehicles like the Combi, VW Transporter, and the sporty Karmann Ghia Coupe, further solidifying its reputation for innovation. Rising sales and popularity. By the end of the 1950s, Volkswagen had firmly established itself as a global leader, with the Beetle spearheading its rise to fame. Its combination of affordability, reliability, and unique design resonated with consumers worldwide. This phase marked Volkswagen's evolution from a German automaker into an international brand, setting the stage for its continued growth in the decades to follow. The 1960s and 1970s were a time of transformation for Volkswagen. The Beetle, now a global icon, had reached the pinnacle of its popularity. But Volkswagen knew it couldn't rely on just one star. The world was changing, and so were the tastes and needs of drivers. It was time to innovate. The first big move came with the Volkswagen Combi, or VW Transporter. Imagine the 1960s counterculture movement, a new generation embracing freedom and exploration. The Combi became their trusted companion, a symbol of adventure. Whether carrying surfboards to the beach or musicians to a festival, this van wasn't just a vehicle. It was part of a lifestyle. Meanwhile, Volkswagen wasn't content with being just practical. It wanted to be stylish too. Enter the Karmann Ghia, a sleek, sporty coupe that turned heads wherever it went. Designed in collaboration with the Italian design house Ghia and built by the German coach builder Karmann, this car was proof that Volkswagen could do more than utility. It could create beauty. As the 1970s arrived, the automotive world faced a new challenge: competition. Other companies were entering the small car market, and Volkswagen needed to adapt. The solution? Reinvent itself. First came the Passat in 1973, a family car with a modern, sophisticated design. Then, in 1974, Volkswagen launched the Golf, a game-changer. Compact, efficient, and stylish, the Golf was everything the Beetle had been for a new generation. In the US, it was called the Rabbit, and like its name, it quickly multiplied in popularity. In just 31 months, Volkswagen sold over 1 million Golfs, proving it was more than ready to lead the next wave of automotive innovation. This era wasn't just about new cars. It was about showing the world that Volkswagen could evolve. The company expanded its portfolio, acquired iconic brands like Audi, and continued pushing boundaries in design and engineering. By the end of the 1970s, Volkswagen had transformed from a one-hit wonder into a versatile, dynamic force in the automotive world. It wasn't just the Beetle anymore. It was a brand ready to meet the future head-on. The 1980s and 1990s were all about technology, expansion, and taking bold steps into the future for Volkswagen. It was an era where innovation wasn't just encouraged. It became the lifeblood of the company. Volkswagen knew it needed to stay ahead of the curve, so it dove headfirst into the world of cutting-edge technology. One of its crowning achievements was introducing electronic fuel injection in its cars. This innovation improved performance, reduced fuel consumption, and helped tackle growing environmental concerns. The VW Gol GTI, launched in Brazil in the late 1980s, was the first national car to feature this breakthrough, setting new standards in the market.
But Volkswagen wasn't just about advancements in existing cars. It was expanding its portfolio to include luxury and performance brands. In 1986, it acquired Seat, making it a key player in the Spanish automotive market. By the 1990s, it went even further, bringing legendary names like Bentley, Lamborghini, and Bugatti into its family. This move wasn't just about owning brands, it was about telling the world that Volkswagen was capable of engineering vehicles that could compete at every level, from the track to the showroom. Meanwhile, the company didn't lose sight of its bread and butter. The Golf continued to dominate, becoming a global favorite and evolving with each generation. By the 1990s, Volkswagen's Total Flex technology, allowing cars to run on ethanol, gasoline, or a mix of both, was gaining ground in markets like Brazil, making it a pioneer in fuel flexibility. And then came the acquisition of Audi, which wasn't just another business deal. It was a statement. Audi brought innovation, sleek design, and a reputation for precision engineering, pushing Volkswagen to new heights in the premium car segment. By the end of the 1990s, Volkswagen had firmly positioned itself as more than just a car company. It was a global powerhouse, capable of delivering everything from practical family cars to high-performance luxury vehicles. The company's bold moves in this era laid the groundwork for its dominance in the decades to come. Volkswagen in Brazil, a story of local innovation and cultural impact. In the mid-20th century, Volkswagen planted its roots in Brazil, embarking on a journey that would make it an integral part of the country's automotive history. It all began in 1953, with a small assembly line in São Paulo's Ipiranga neighborhood. The first vehicles were assembled from parts imported from Germany, but it didn't take long for Volkswagen to become a true Brazilian success story. By 1957, Volkswagen had established its first factory in São Bernardo do Campo. This wasn't just a production facility, it was a symbol of Brazil's growing industrial power. The first locally made vehicle was the Kombi, a reliable van that quickly became essential for businesses and families alike. With over 50% of its parts produced domestically, the Kombi marked the start of Volkswagen's deep connection to Brazilian innovation. Then came the Fusca, known internationally as the Beetle. It wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon. Affordable, durable, and perfectly suited to Brazil's roads, the Fusca became the country's best-selling car for decades. By 1972, 1 million units had been sold in Brazil, cementing its place in the nation's heart. But Volkswagen wasn't content with just adapting to the Brazilian market, it wanted to shape it. In the 1970s, it launched the Brasilia, a car designed specifically for Brazilian drivers. Its compact size and modern design made it a hit, and it became a staple on the streets of cities and towns alike. Volkswagen's impact didn't stop at consumer vehicles. The company introduced models like the SP2, a sporty, eye-catching car that showed Brazil could produce vehicles with global appeal. Then came the GOL in 1980, a game-changer that would go on to dominate the Brazilian market for an incredible 27 consecutive years as the best-selling car. Through the decades, Volkswagen continued to innovate, launching cars tailored to Brazil's unique needs, like the Severo and Parati. It also embraced flexible fuel technology, with the introduction of total flex engines, allowing cars to run on ethanol, gasoline, or a mix of both. This innovation was a perfect fit for Brazil, a global leader in ethanol production. By the early 2000s, Volkswagen was deeply woven into the fabric of Brazilian life. Its factories were not only producing millions of cars but also serving as hubs of technological advancement and economic growth. Today, Volkswagen's legacy in Brazil is a testament to its ability to adapt, innovate, and connect with people on a deeply local level. Challenges and comebacks, Volkswagen's resilience in the face of crisis. No journey to success is without its setbacks, and Volkswagen faced one of its most significant challenges in September 2015. The world was shaken when the company admitted to installing software in 11 million diesel vehicles to cheat emissions tests. This Dieselgate scandal rocked Volkswagen's reputation, sparking outrage and legal battles across the globe. The fallout was massive. Fines and settlements reached billions of dollars, costing the company around €6.7 billion in immediate expenses and wiping more than $30 billion off its market value. Key executives, including CEO Martin Winterkorn, resigned, and the company faced lawsuits in multiple countries. The public trust in Volkswagen, built over decades, was severely shaken. But Volkswagen didn't crumble. Instead, it focused on turning the crisis into an opportunity for reinvention. The company launched a comprehensive strategy to rebuild its brand and regain customer confidence. This included shifting to sustainability. Volkswagen doubled down on electric vehicle (EV) development, committing to becoming a leader in clean energy transportation. Rebranding, the company replaced its slogan with a simpler and more modern Volkswagen, signaling a fresh start. Investing in the future, billions were poured into research and development for EVs, with plans to launch a full lineup of electric models by 2025. Volkswagen's recovery was not just about technology but also about accountability. The company took significant steps to ensure transparency, overhaul its management, and implement stricter compliance measures. By 2020, Volkswagen had begun to regain its footing, introducing successful electric models like the ID.4 and reaffirming its place as one of the world's top automakers. Despite the shadow of Dieselgate, Volkswagen showed resilience and a willingness to evolve in the face of adversity. The crisis reminded the world of the complexities of global industries, but it also demonstrated Volkswagen's capacity for reinvention. It turned a dark chapter into a springboard for innovation, with a renewed focus on sustainability, accountability, and technological excellence. Challenges and comebacks, Volkswagen's resilience in the face of crisis. No great story is without its struggles, and Volkswagen faced one of its toughest moments in 2015 with the Dieselgate scandal. The revelation that the company had used software to cheat emissions tests shook the automotive world. It wasn't just a financial blow, it was a crisis of trust, costing billions in fines and damaging Volkswagen's reputation globally. But here's the remarkable part, Volkswagen didn't let this define its future. Instead, it used the setback as a turning point. Sustainability first, Volkswagen committed to leading the way in clean energy, investing billions in electric vehicles, EVs. A new identity, a fresh, modern rebrand showed the world that Volkswagen was ready for a brighter, more responsible future. Groundbreaking models, iconic electric vehicles like the ID.4 proved that innovation and sustainability could go hand in hand. Volkswagen's resilience reminds us that even the biggest challenges can lead to extraordinary transformations. It's not just a story about cars, it's about redemption, reinvention, and the drive to do better. Legacy and the road ahead, Volkswagen's bold vision for the future. Volkswagen's story isn't just about the past, it's about a legacy that continues to shape the future of mobility. From the humble beginnings of the Beetle to becoming a global automotive powerhouse, Volkswagen has always had its sights set on what's next. A legacy of icons. Volkswagen's past is filled with legendary models that defined eras. The Beetle, a car that became a cultural phenomenon, symbolizing freedom and simplicity. The Golf, which revolutionized the compact car market and continues to be a bestseller globally. The Combi, an enduring emblem of adventure and community. But as the world changes, so does Volkswagen's vision. Leading the electric revolution. In recent years, Volkswagen has committed to becoming a leader in electric mobility. With groundbreaking models like the ID.4 SUV and the retro-inspired ID.Buzz, the company is blending sustainability with style. These vehicles aren't just eco-friendly, they're redefining what it means to drive. Volkswagen is also setting ambitious goals. By 2030, the company aims to have 50% of its sales come from electric vehicles. Massive investments in EV infrastructure and battery technology are ensuring a cleaner, greener future for drivers worldwide. Innovation beyond cars. Volkswagen isn't stopping at vehicles, it's embracing connectivity and smart technology. Features like autonomous driving and AI-assisted systems are turning cars into companions that make life easier, safer, and more enjoyable. Brazil and the global market. In Brazil, Volkswagen remains a household name. The company continues to produce vehicles tailored to the region's needs while introducing electric models to local markets. From the GOL, a bestseller for decades, to cutting-edge EVs, Volkswagen is bridging tradition and innovation. A story that inspires. As Volkswagen embarks on its next chapter, one thing remains constant: its dedication to creating vehicles that people love and trust. Whether it's designing cars for families, adventurers, or eco-conscious drivers, Volkswagen is about more than just transportation, it's about connecting people and creating memories. Drive the future with us. If you've enjoyed this journey through Volkswagen's incredible story, don't miss out on what's to come. Subscribe now to explore more stories, innovations, and insights from the world of automobiles. Together, we'll continue to celebrate the road ahead.